Few professional teams have ever enjoyed an extended run of excellence quite like that of the NBA's model of consistency, the San Antonio Spurs.
And for the third time in 5 years, and the fourth time in their rich history, the San Antonio Spurs are NBA World Champions.
At the core of their success is a fiercely loyal friendship, forged in the heat of battle between three franchise icons and their celebrated coach with a no-nonsense approach.
Lay everything out there, and that means with your teammates. They got talent, we got to beat them with all of us.
But even the most successful of organizations can have doubt cast upon them. And at that critical moment, all that's left to rely on is the courage of conviction and the capacity to honor a commitment to the team.
And your San Antonio Spurs!
San Antonio now 28 seconds away from a championship. They lead by 5.
Everybody knows how close we were a year ago.
Right down to the wire, and within 30 seconds of actually winning a championship.
Being that close, at a point where you almost touch it.
After failing to secure a rebound, the Spurs' 5-point lead with 28 seconds to go was reduced to 2.
James, another three, it's good!
And when Kawhi Leonard split a pair of free throws on the ensuing possession, San Antonio was still one defensive stop away from capturing the 5th championship in franchise history.
Let's go, we got time to get this thing done, let's go.
No timeouts left, so Miami needs a good 3. They've got time to set it up. James catches, puts up a 3. Won't go, rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang! Tie game!
In the extra session, the Heat would snuff out any hopes for a Spurs celebration on their home floor.
Green, blocked by Bosh! Game over!
I guess the obvious word is disappointing.
I was devastated. I wanted to cry. I never felt like that in a basketball game.
We were a few seconds away from winning the championship, and we let it go.
2 nights later, the Miami Heat would win a decisive Game 7 and the 2013 NBA title, while the San Antonio Spurs were forced to come to terms with one of the most devastating collapses in championship history. To plot a path forward on the road to redemption, Coach Greg Popovich instinctively knew what needed to be done as the Spurs prepared for the upcoming season.
We started our training camp by watching that game, every frame of it.
Pop wanted us to see it again, to feel it, to realize what happened.
You guys know we lost in the last 20 seconds, but that's not where we lost the game. And that was like a zero tolerance type of deal for Popovich. We have to pay attention to details. We can make no mistakes.
You're in control of things. You don't blame it on the basketball gods or anything like that. What can we do better? And either we will or we won't. Will we show the fortitude to stick together and try to get another opportunity, or will we break apart?
It would be back to the basics for the Spurs as Pop opened camp at the United States Air Force Academy, where the former cadet would reinforce what mattered most in strengthening the bonds of his unit.
We want to thank you, the Academy, for being here. You guys have been great, and you're going to find out that they're hard workers just like you all are. We hope you enjoy yourselves this evening.
It was about just getting better. I'm blessed with a great group of guys. They came together, they enjoyed each other, they loved each other, they loved playing with each other, and it showed.
Obviously, you can't erase last year and what happened or the thoughts of what happened last year, but to be back on the court with these guys and to see us starting another journey is great for us.
A glorious journey had already been shared for more than a decade by San Antonio's Big Three, and Tim Duncan, MANU Ginobili, and Tony Parker appeared to be just as cohesive and just as productive when the new campaign got underway.
Those guys are the ultimate competitors. They've changed their game just like I've changed mine and adapted to what Pop's asked us to do, and they continue to find ways to win.
Every year you write them off. They're too old. No, they never age for some reason.
With the years, you get that level of trust, confidence, respect, appreciation.
Spurs have won 10 in a row.
The goal is always the common one. What we want to do is win.
San Antonio matches the best start in franchise history in the 12th consecutive game.
To being able to play all those years together in professional sports, it doesn't exist. I appreciate every moment because I know one day I'm going to play without those two guys.
They're the heart and soul and the core, but they've allowed us to add other players around them. They brought them into the family, helped us teach them their roles, and it's worked out.
The Spurs would also learn to rely on an up-and-coming star in the making, Kawhi Leonard.
He's got a great work ethic. His development was really important. Little did we know that he was going to progress as quickly as he did.
And he's only 22, an emerging star.
His will to be a great player and to begin it with defense and boards makes him pretty special.
Leonard got it.
We all know what he's capable of, and they've been pushing him to be more aggressive, and throughout the year he's done that. And we trusted him to guard the best players in the world.
Kawhi Leonard is the future of the San Antonio Spurs.
He don't really speak a lot, almost never, but you can see from his eyes that he really wants to win.
He is competing on every single play.
Look at that, Kawhi Leonard, Thompson chasing, wraps him up, and one! Oh, mama!
Just play with this guy, for me, is an honor because you're gonna be the future of this team.
While Kawhi Leonard capably shouldered more of the load, Tim Duncan carried on like the franchise cornerstone he'd been for the 16 previous seasons.
Everything begins with Tim. But frankly, we almost take him for granted. And then when you see him play and you look at the film and you say, my gosh, he's still doing the same thing.
Tim Duncan, one of the greats of all time.
When you are 38, that's very hard to do. Because on the other side, you got kids that don't stop running or jumping, and they hit you. But he did it day in, day out, always being a super pro and making us better and showing leadership in moments where we needed him the most.
Timmy for the win. Got it!
I love that guy, and he's changed his whole game. For a guy that has as many minutes and as many miles on his legs, it's unbelievable.
Turn back the clock.
During the summer, I was working with him, and I was like, wow, this guy is running more than me, and I feel shame.
He's better now than he was 2 years ago.
The first game I watched, he was dominant, and every game I've been here, he's just been as dominant as the first time I saw him. It's crazy how he maintains that level of play, and it's an honor to be able to play alongside him.
Tim Duncan may be the foundation that these Spurs were built on, but he was just one of the many moving pieces. Maximizing their depth, San Antonio would become the first team in NBA history to play an entire season with no player averaging as many as 30 minutes a game.
Our bench was very important because they'll come in and play great.
They just roll guys out there, and then they look like they're all NBA.
They could be a starting 5 team in the NBA. They could beat a lot of teams.
San Antonio, they're 10 deep, and they play a system and play with a discipline that is just remarkable.
We are not a team that is going to have somebody scoring 40 every game that we can rely on, so we need contribution from everybody.
There goes that bench again.
Everybody had an opportunity. It gave guys great confidence to come in and play well.
Danny Green!
We had different guys emerge and play great roles throughout the whole season. It shows how deep our bench is. All 14 guys can play.
That may be because San Antonio leaves no stone unturned, searching for unique talent in diverse regions.
It's cool to come from all different parts of the earth.
Everybody's from another place. like a fish out of the water.
BELINELLI fires.
We all got different culture, and at the same time, we all got the same passion of basketball, and that's why it kind of brings us back together.
If you love basketball, you have to appreciate the Spurs.
All different styles and experiences of play come together. To put that onto the court, it makes it very exciting.
BELINELLI out to Patty Mills for three. You bet. Get out of here.
It would all translate into success in the standings, and San Antonio closed the campaign by rattling off a franchise record winning streak.
San Antonio's won 13 in a row.
Spurs 15th consecutive win, and the Spurs with 18 straight wins.
Although they had compiled the association's best record, the Spurs had also provided ammunition for their doubters and detractors.
Taking fire in the hole. The Thunder defeat the Spurs.
We struggled with the top teams in the league.
The Houston Rockets storm into the Alamo City and defeat the Spurs again.
We lost to every team that was a championship contender.
So the Portland Trailblazers pick up a game on the Spurs.
We needed to figure out what we needed to do to fix that.
A lot of people didn't believe in us. They thought we were too old.
We just kept hearing that we couldn't beat any top teams in the NBA.
Bad pass, and that's what it leads to as James throws it down.
Everybody was concerned about when we get to the playoffs, we wouldn't be able to compete with elite talent.
The 62 regular season wins would be reduced to a footnote in history if the team could not work together to achieve their much loftier goal.
At the end of the regular season, we knew that it was now business time, and what we'd done throughout the regular season, which was great, but we hadn't achieved anything yet.
After climbing to the top of the Western Conference, the San Antonio Spurs entered the playoffs as the #1 seed. They would be tested immediately by a familiar foe with an impressive playoff pedigree of their own in Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks.
We knew just because we were the 1 seed and Dallas was the 8 seed didn't mean the series was a gimme. They have championship experience. They're a great team led by one of the all-time great players in Dirk Nowitzki. And everybody starts 0-0 come playoff time.
The sweep of the season series and a Spurs victory in the opener offered little comfort after Dallas delivered a wake-up call.
Nowitzki, contact, gets it, and hits! The Dallas Mavericks with a definitive statement in Game 2.
If the Mavericks had not yet gotten the Spurs' full attention, all that was about to change.
Who will be the hero? Calderon throws it in. Carter in the corner, got it away! Dallas has stunned the #1 seed in San Antonio Spurs.
It's always tough. He made a great shot, and they got the win, so of course it's disappointing. You know, we are not out. We lost a tough one. We got to just play a little better.
Before the series started, Dirk, he was our main focus, but then everybody started to play well for them.
Ooh. Quick. 29 from Monte Ellis.
Dallas forced us to get on track, you know, really play Spurs basketball and execute to the highest level on both ends of the floor.
Kawhi Leonard. What a block they're playing with that kind of desperation, that urgency early.
Now you're playing. Now you're playing. A little bit of ugly, okay? A little bit of contact. A little bit of ferociousness. It's the playoffs.
The mindset was, it's money time. We just did a good job turning around that Dallas series with our defense.
Harris on the run out, top pass, right through the bottom. Nowitzki didn't see that coming. Quick numbers. Kawhi Leonard going to the free throw line.
Responding to the challenge, the Spurs pulled ahead 3 games to 2, but could not close out the series in Dallas. And suddenly, the long journey back to the NBA Finals was in jeopardy, long before they had reached their desired destination.
Dallas was really important for us because they were tough. But we had to make adjustments in that first series to help us become better. Fortunately, we had home court advantage and played well in Game 7.
Aggressive and play together. Play for each other. That's what it's all about. It's just another basketball game if you play with each other. 1, 2, 3.
Nowitzki against Splitter. Splitter knocks it away from behind. 2-on-1. Parker to Leonard for the flush.
Spurs are picking and rolling to death, these Mavs.
As dominant a first half as you can have, San Antonio still shooting an incredible 72% from the field. It's a 27-point lead.
Great job on Dirk. It's all about the defense. That was some of the best defense I've seen all year. Taking away the three, getting back down, not fouling, keep up with the D and the board.
But they turn it over. Spurs put in their best performance in Game 7. A dominant victory for San Antonio. It is now on to face Portland.
And after the series against Dallas, everything was better for us. Our focus was better. Portland, we play immediately a great basketball game.
Parker, again, he cannot be stopped by the Blazers. He's got 20.
This is a complete demolition.
For people that still think the Spurs are boring, they haven't been watching. A thing of beauty on offense.
Defense is ruling the day. The defense is ruling the day. It's fueling everything.
It's unraveling for the Blazers. To Leonard, who drops the anvil.
The veteran crew had found their rhythm, and their relentless assault would prove to be overwhelming for the less experienced Portland Trailblazers.
You got to make them guard by attacking and find the open man or go yourself.
There's Ginobili with Splitter and the dunk.
With surgical precision, the Spurs would oust the Trailblazers in 5 games.
San Antonio goes to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd consecutive year.
Next up was another date with the electrifying offensive attack of Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that had dominated the Spurs in the regular season series by winning all 4 games.
As each series progressed, we really got better, playing some teams that had their way with us during the year.
Well, OKC is a very tough matchup for us. We lost to them in the conference finals 2 years ago. So, we felt this is our chance to redeem ourselves.
The Thunder entered shorthanded with 3-time NBA All-Defense first-teamer Serge Ibaka sidelined by a calf injury. The Spurs were quick to capitalize, exploiting every opportunity in the interior.
The Spurs are absolutely dominating the paint. Kawhi Leonard on a tired Kevin Durant with the spin move.
Great drives, great drives. That's what it's all about.
What a move by Tony Parker. These guys don't miss.
Now I want a smarter quarter here. Better execution. Play like you know how to play.
Green left free and takes advantage. Another three-pointer. And it is a commanding victory for the San Antonio Spurs as they go 2-0 in this best of 7.
The first 2 games we won pretty good. They didn't have Serge. Game 3 comes back, and it's an emotional game for him. They had their home crowd behind them.
When the Thunder got back to OKC, they also got back to full strength and fed off the energy injected by Ibaka's return to draw even in the series.
They rout the Spurs tonight, 105-92 in Game 4 to deadlock this thing into a piece.
OKC was one of the toughest teams for us to play. And so we knew it was going to be a battle. We knew we had to play our best basketball to beat them.
Game 5 came in with a different mindset. That's when we started moving the ball even better because we had to. They're so athletic, and the only way to get them to move or tire them out is to move the ball and get open shots.
In a pivotal Game 5 performance, San Antonio reasserted themselves as the superior squad by playing with passion while paying attention to detail.
We got to move these athletes around. We can't keep it on one side. We can't have any ball stoppers.
Dion gets it down low. Here's Duncan inside.
The Spurs offensively are back. 117-89. All Spurs. They take a 3-2 lead.
It was very important to keep our foot on the gas pedal and not let them back in it. At the time, nobody won on the road. We knew we just had to come out with twice as much focus to hopefully get that win.
Let's match their aggressiveness. Let's match that right off the bat. Let's hold it down. Make them feel you. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
The return trip to the finals was within San Antonio's grasp. But first, they'd have to shake off an apparent ankle injury that had sent Tony Parker to the bench. An explosive third quarter staked the Spurs to a double-digit lead. But the Thunder came roaring back.
First lead of the fourth quarter for the Thunder, looking to take it to a Game 7 back in San Antonio. Leonard, played by Westbrook. Ginobili for 3, yes!
As the battle raged into overtime, it was Tim Duncan in the twilight of his career who once more would deliver the decisive blow.
The San Antonio Spurs on their way to the NBA Finals for the second straight season.
What does it mean to you to get back to the finals and get another shot at Miami?
You know, it's unbelievable to regain that focus after the devastating loss that we had last year, but we're back here and we're excited about it, and we got 4 more to win. We'll do it this time.
1, 2, 3, Spurs!
Spurs, go! Let's go, baby! Let's beat the Heat! Let's go!
It's a finals rematch here in 2014 with the Miami Heat, looking to become the first to three-peat since the Kobe Shaq Lakers.
Game 1 of another great series. Felt like we were going to see the Spurs first. Spurs felt like they were going to see us, so that's what we're ready for.
The passion and determination that was on everyone's face, really wanting it so bad to correct what we messed up last year.
Spurs on 3! 1, 2, 3!
But we put ourselves in a position to compete for what we want to get, and we're here now, so make it count. Every game is a Game 7 and treat it that way. So let's make a statement. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Get 4, 5, 6.
Much has been said and written about the San Antonio Spurs wanting to get revenge against the Miami Heat for a bitter loss in last year's NBA Finals. All they know is they are 4 wins away from an NBA title, and the 2-time defending champs are standing in the way.
Greatness is tough. Greatness is blood, sweat, and tears, dog. Greatness is every inch. We got to take every inch. Let's be great tonight. All right, let's be who we are. Let's be champions.
Me and you hug, I just get a media something to talk about.
And the 2014 NBA Finals are underway.
Back up! Hands! Hands!
By his own admission, Manu Ginobili had been haunted by his subpar performance at the 2013 Finals. He wasted little time in exercising those demons to set a different tone for this series.
Ginobili with a triple has given San Antonio a lead.
We're playing the NBA champion, and we want what they have. That means we can't turn it over. It means we can't let up for a second, physicality-wise.
To Parker, up the floor, spots Ginobili trailing on the left side, and he plants another three-pointer. Manu with back-to-back threes.
He was a driven man, and the competitor that he is. This is like the pinnacle for him, especially to help erase, last year.
But the 2-time defending champions would storm right back.
A 6-0 run from Miami. Nice answer, and they go up by 1.
They're going to pick it up now. Let's be ready for it.
Here's Wade, who already has 3 championship rings at home, trying to garner another.
Nothing can be lazy. Every cut, every screen, every curl, everything's got to be strong.
Spearheading the Spurs' attack in the first half was their future first ballot Hall of Famer.
Diaw on the drive, inside to Duncan. And that will end the first half of Game 1. LeBron James with 13 points to lead the Miami Heat. Tim Duncan, 6 of 7, 15 points to lead San Antonio.
When the second half got underway, the contest would heat up, literally.
An electrical failure where the power that runs the AC unit is malfunctioning.
A hot AT&T Center, to say the least, hot and steamy.
And as the temperature inside continued to climb, the Miami Heat began to surge.
Here comes Allen. Allen pushes off BELINELLI and throws it down. And the Spurs very sloppy. That's their 17th turnover.
I agree that the Heat has had an impact, but it's the Heat defense that has created turnovers by the Spurs.
James for three. That's good. LeBron James, second three-pointer. He's got 23.
Okay.
Let's make these last 10 minutes the execution we've had the whole playoffs. Let's make these last 10 minutes really sharp passes to the open man. Not forcing it, not being in a hurry. All right? Let's get after it.
Ginobili picked up by Anderson. Green will try again. Hits a three. Danny Green's first field goal of the game. He was 0 for 4 from downtown. And the Spurs back within one. Diaw looking. Green again. Bang! Spurs up by 2. Well, what a marvelous fourth quarter comeback for San Antonio.
But with the outcome still to be determined, it would be the Heat who wilted in the extreme conditions.
James crossover move, drives to the rim and finishes.
And hobble up, he's cramping up again, Mike.
And he can't even make it down the floor.
He is looking over at the training staff and saying he can't move. Reading his lips, he said he can't move. And so they're literally going to carry LeBron James over to the Miami bench.
A severely dehydrated LeBron James was reduced to a witness as San Antonio completed their charge.
30-9 run San Antonio since trailing 86-79.
Screen. Again, Danny Green from downtown. The San Antonio Spurs take game 1 of the 2014 NBA Finals.
We did it, baby! 1 down, 3 to go!
We won the first one. We're going to come in here on Sunday and hopefully play better and come out with another one.
Welcome to Miami, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Let's go Heat!
Let's go Heat!
Although the Spurs squandered their home court advantage with a disheartening loss in the waning moments of Game 2, their resolve remained unshaken when the scene shifted to South Beach for Game 3.
There's no panic after the loss. We lose Game 2, but we know we're playing a great team, and we're a great team too.
To seize the momentum and the squandered home court advantage, the entire team would have to perform better. Perhaps no Spur had more pressure on him than Kawhi Leonard, who had struggled at the offensive end in Games 1 and 2 while having his hands full trying to defend the league's 4-time most valuable player. Let's go! Backed by a raucous home crowd, the Miami Heat came out and battled with a ferocious intensity.
James throws it down and a foul. He's got their last 12 points, 14 here in the first period.
The defensive effort can't stop. The boards can't stop. Moving the ball can't stop.
Led by a resurgent Kawhi Leonard, the Spurs would put on one of the most spectacular displays of offensive efficiency in NBA Finals history.
That's a three. Kawhi Leonard.
Parker against Chalmers, popping out Leonard against Wade. Fakes right drive, left into the paint all the way in.
He scooped it up, it hung on the rim, and it fell for Kawhi Leonard.
And one! Come on, man!
And that's one thing Pop wants. He wants Kawhi Leonard to be aggressive on the offensive end.
Although Leonard had struggled to score in Games 1 and 2, he never lost his confidence in his ability to contribute.
I was really never down on myself. I stayed even keeled. My team had confidence in me still. The coaching staff and the players telling me that this is your time to go and get it.
Mills, he'll penetrate. Bounce pass, left corner, Leonard. Great ball movement by the Spurs.
Kawhi Leonard loads up and knocks down a three. 38-23, Spurs by 15.
Yep. Great execution. Great execution.
The Spurs were firing on all cylinders because they were playing their brand of basketball.
This is a Spurs team that is running the offense to perfection.
You know, we looked at the film of those first two games and we realized that we were going to have to play a really high level of basketball, which was going to entail passing and moving if we were going to be able to do anything with their defense, which is really good.
It's like the movie The Hoosiers. It's got to be hit 5 sets of hands and then let's get going looking for our shot.
We really love to move the ball, and I think that's our secret.
San Antonio connected on 19 of their first 21 attempts, eventually establishing a finals record for accuracy by sinking nearly 76% of their first half shots.
Leonard finishes strong with the right hand. It has just been one of the great offensive starts in NBA playoff history.
Although it looked like the game might be over at halftime, the Heat did not intend to concede a thing.
Now LeBron, top of the circle against Leonard. Inside Wade, layup missed. Got his own rebound, put back good. Dwayne Wade.
13-point game, 75-62.
Parker right to the basket, rushed it.
Guard it! Guard it!
Now to Chalmers, down the floor. LeBron, free one and a right-hand layup. Finally, Miami converting something. The Spurs are sucking wind right now, let me tell you, with this pace.
Drive him! Drive him!
7 on the shot clock. Cole trying to turn the corner. Cole the drive, tiptoes, reverse, he banks it in. 7-point game.
They made a hell of a run. Let's get back to the defense we played and moving the basketball. Hit the open man.
Led by the unselfish play from their highly decorated floor general, the Spurs would play flawless team basketball to put the contest out of reach.
Along the wing to Green. Green nowhere to go.
Off to the corner, Leonard will drive baseline all the way in. Slam dunk, Kawhi Leonard. Sometimes everything goes just right. And tonight, that's the way it is for the Spurs.
Green on the drive, James guarding him left-handed and one. What a beautiful shot from Green.
Crowd is quiet here in Miami. LeBron with it, goes to work. He flattens Mills, throws to Chalmers, trying to feed it back to LeBron, jabbed away by an alert Mills. Diving for it, pokes it ahead. Ginobili in the open court, nobody near him. Cruises to the glass for the two-hand jam.
Great leadership. You didn't get 30. It was great leadership and solid play with the ball from your teammates. Great job.
I have to trust my teammate in this series.
Exactly.
The Spurs with a huge response here in Game 3 and now lead the 2014 NBA Finals 2-1 with a resounding road win here in Miami.
He was beating me up right there, man. But, he wasn't really saying that. He just kept hitting me. Just wanted me to play the game, go out there, be aggressive, don't think so much, and just go out there and leave it all on the floor.
I don't think we'll ever shoot 76% in a half ever again. It's the NBA Finals. You can't just be mediocre out there if you want to win a game. Everybody's got to play well.
Did I get him? Did I get him?
Yeah.
Big shot. Stay ready. Stay ready. Everybody with the ball. Everybody's a point guard. Everybody's a point guard. Go sit down. Get off your legs. You're good. No, we're done. Save it for tomorrow. Save it for tomorrow.
Versus the Spurs, any little minor mistake that you make, they will make you pay. Once they got to the groove, there was no slowing them down.
We have a game plan in place, and it's about the 5 guys on the floor, whoever it may be, just making sure that we make as little mistakes as possible.
It's Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and the pressure is on the Miami Heat. The two-time defending champs desperately need a win to avoid heading back to San Antonio in a 3-1 hole.
We gonna get it back tonight. We gonna get it back from the start. The way we know how. The way champions do, man. We respond. Let's see what we're about.
Well, they've been down this road before, having won 13 consecutive games after a postseason loss. Green finds Splitter, beautiful feed to Diallo in the finish.
Move it.
San Antonio has a double-figure lead here in Game 4. They've had a double-figure lead in each game of the series. Oh, what a beautiful look from Boris Diaw.
Timeout.
A timeout call by Eric Spoelstra.
Guys are doing a great job of moving the ball as usual. Now we got a lead again. It doesn't mean be conservative. It means we just don't need home runs. Make them guard.
Spurs off to a good, aggressive start.
That's big strength right there. Take the contact and finish.
Dominant first half for the San Antonio Spurs.
See how solid we are. See how mentally tough we are right now. 1, 2, 3. Defense!
Inside Chalmers, Birdman to the rim. Anderson, blocked from behind by Leonard.
Loose balls and boards right now. It's loose balls and boards.
The Spurs had picked up in Game 4 right where they had left off in Game 3. As the domination continued, a hush fell over the hometown fans.
And this crowd a bit stunned right now.
Get rid of it! Get rid of it!
Mills, not that time. Leonard on the follow.
Slam, Kawhi Leonard. Wow, he came out of nowhere and hammered it home.
Second straight game at home. Miami is trailed by over 20 in the first half of a finals game.
Need Miami to show more passion right here. A lot more passion.
It starts with your best players, and they've got to play with more passion on both sides of the basketball, setting the tone for everybody else.
LeBron backs, drop step, spin to the baseline, to the glass, laid it in. LeBron James again getting into the paint.
You got to take it to another level. For the rest of this quarter, we got to commit to this end right here.
It's already got 10 points in the period. It's a 13-point game. James several feet behind the arc, swishes a three. James now with 25 points.
Get him moving, get him moving, get him moving.
The Heat were looking to their superstar, while the Spurs were simply looking for each other.
Pass inside, Diaw to Duncan for the finish. Once again, spectacular ball movement.
Everybody's going to move the ball. Everybody's going to be a tough catch. Crisp pass, jump stop. First 5 minutes of the fourth, we want to win.
Patty Mills, punch it in. Patty Mills, huge off the bench with 14 points.
The message had been the same throughout the whole year. Nothing changed. I think we all just really understood as a team together what our strengths were and that we needed to go to that and keep at it.
Once again, so many possessions with multiple passes.
And everybody on their roster has scored.
Diaw to Duncan, lays it up and in, and the Spurs can put this one in the back pocket.
Look at that bench reaction. That is T-E-A-M, team.
San Antonio Spurs with another masterpiece, and they take a 3-1 lead in the 2014 NBA Finals.
You know, you made some shots, you played good D. We couldn't be more proud of you.
When you guys make 5 to 7 passes, you get any pass you want. You guys practice that?
Yeah, definitely. We practice that. We have a drill. We take 2 dribbles, pass, 2 dribble, pass, and we do it like 10, 15 times.
They move the ball extremely well, and they put you in positions that no one other team in this league does.
Great job, Tim.
Thank you, sir. Great position for us, going back home with a closeout game. They're the champs. We have a lot of respect for what they're able to do. And we don't want to give them any life. So we're going to use these 2 days to really get rested up, come out on Sunday and lay it on the line.
The San Antonio Spurs are now just one step away from the prize that has been their goal all season long, the NBA championship. Tonight, it's Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
Go, Spurs, go! It ends today. Get it done. Get it done tonight.
Last year, we're 30 seconds away. We have it in the bag, and it slips out of our fingers. It's not over till it's over. Our goal right now is just to win one more game.
It shows a lot of character to lose like that and to come back the following year very motivated. Coach Pop was really driven and really passionate about winning this one. It was like the most important thing all year long, and it just, everybody felt it.
1, 2, 3, 4!
With the finish line to their year-long quest in sight, the Spurs were hoping to get off to a fast start. But LeBron James had other ideas.
James on the follow. And an 8-0 run to begin the game. It's the largest lead of the finals for the Miami Heat.
LeBron James tracks him on radar and flies in to rebuke the shot, spiking it out of bounds.
When he says follow me, it's not just putting up huge numbers, it's showing huge effort.
2 on the shot clock. James, a real long 3. Got it! Oh my! That one from some 30 feet away.
On the big stage, you got to deliver. He's delivered, and they're going to ask for an encore here.
Just remember, we have to do this together. The great part is we got all night long to take care of a bad start. But we do it by doing what we normally do.
The beauty of the Spurs offense, never letting the ball stick.
Left wing Boris Diaw lobs to the rim. Leonard, a slam dunk on the alley-oop. Great way to start the second quarter.
How good is this Spurs team and the way that they battle, compete, and never get wrapped?
Duncan, low left, turns into the lane. Sweeping right-hander up and in. Tim Duncan going to work on Haslam.
Well, the Spurs weathered that early storm.
We're starting to look like we're moving the ball a little bit more on offense. That's all that has to be done at that end.
James drives, can't finish. Leonard the rebound. Leonard for 3. Bang! First lead of the game for the Spurs. You're hearing MVP chants from the crowd.
Manu into the front court. He'll drive it inside. Manu all the way in, left hand slam. Wow, Manu, that is why you do the voodoo that you do so well. And the Spurs on a 14-0 run. After trailing by 16, the Spurs lead by 7 at intermission.
We got to bring more energy to our offense. We got to help each other get a shot right now. Help each other.
It would be the collective group effort of the Spurs that would stop the Heat at every turn.
Wade blocked by Splitter.
And remember last year when James blocked Splitter, here Splitter gets his revenge.
You know, now he finds Diaw cutting inside. Boris to the right wing, Mills for 3. Good day, Mike. Patty Mills with a 3-pointer. Back-to-back threes for the 5-year veteran from Canberra, Australia.
This man can shoot. He has electrified the crowd. Spurs running away, a 17-point lead.
We're playing the back-to-back NBA champion, right? Keep pounding now. Keep pounding now. Don't let them back in.
The Spurs' year-long journey seeking redemption had proven to be the ultimate test of their resolve. With a final push down the stretch, it would become clear they had passed the test with flying colors.
Parker gets in the paint. Tony Parker. Oh, beautiful hesitation and floats it in.
Well, Parker was cold early, but right now he's hot and he wants to finish off Miami.
San Antonio did it as a team with some of the most beautiful team basketball we've seen in a long, long time.
Spurs by 18. Everybody on their feet at the AT&T Center. Short jumper good. 7 for 7 in the fourth quarter for Tony Parker. It's 96-76. It's time to celebrate, San Antonio.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
The Spurs have captured their 5th NBA championship.
Thanks for pushing me. Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's
what
it's
a crazy feeling.
That's what it's about, baby, right?
Yes.
You earned it. You earned it.
To the San Antonio Spurs, you showed the world how beautiful this game is. And now, let me present the Larry O'Brien Trophy to this year's NBA champions.
And they will celebrate this title in Europe, South America, Australia, the Virgin Islands, Canada, and especially here in San Antonio.
The fans of San Antonio know how great you are, and now the whole world does. You are the 2014 Bill Russell MVP.
We really wanted to have this feeling again.
The moment where we got that lead and we said, well, this is ours, it was so satisfying, and with the same group, I just enjoyed it so much.
I've never been more proud of the team, nor have I ever gotten as much satisfaction from a season
to see the fortitude you guys displayed coming back from that horrific loss last year and getting yourselves back in position and doing what you did in the finals. You're really to be honored for that. As every championship is different. You know, all the other ones were special and the groups were great, but this had to be the sweetest just because of what we endured last year. That joy is pure. Hugging each other, jumping up on each other, crying and laughing at the same time. There's nothing else like it.
That's the sweetest championship. It's my favorite one out of my 4 because of what happened last year, and it's been 7 years. We're celebrating like it's our first our first win.
Number 1 again!
7 years, man. We're back. It's been a while, too.
Who's back?
I'm back. I'm back much older.
This one was more special than any others. The journey we've been through in the last 2 years, everything together. Because of the time between the championships, I appreciate every game more. I appreciate every accomplishment, knowing that it might be the last time I do it. You put all those things together and it makes this one that much more special for me.
Star Trek, live long and prosper.
I will try. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I can't explain. It's amazing to be a part of this for so long.